Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, madam.
Right, okay, you can hear me, no? Right. Yesterday's lecture I had to cancel and we are having it today. We'll start. Where did we stop? Can you remember? Did we finish Piaget's discussion? What was the last part of the lesson? Lecture. Hello? Anybody? Nobody remembers. I
Erik
need your
Erikson theory of psychological development, school of thoughts.
Erik Erikson, we finished? Completed?
Still didn't complete.
So we started the discussion.
Okay.
But did we start the discussion?
A discussion start, madam. Stage
Then,
and psychological crisis.
right. Then what about Sigmund Freud? It is done.
Sigmund Freud done.
Right. Okay. Got it. Now I'm sharing the PowerPoint slides with you. Thank you. Now here, this is our unit. So we are done with Piaget's theory of cognitive development as a lifespan development theory. It's done. And then Freud's theory of psychosexual development, done. Erikson's theory of psychosexual development and Kohlberg's and Bronfenbrenner, we are to do it today. Okay, am I right?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, thank
Yes.
you. Yeah, then we are done with this. This is Piaget, this is Sigmund Freud. We discussed the three components, parts of the mind or the components of the mind, components of personality, and the 5 stages of psychosexual development, referring to the stage, age, focus of libido, major developments, and adult fixations, right? And then we discuss Erik Erikson's theory. We started. We are supposed to do it today, as if not, right? So if you take lifespan development, another very significant theory is Erik Erikson's theory of psychosocial development. He also is from psychoanalysis school of thought. If it is psychoanalysis school of thought, you tell me what is their assumption. What is their assumption? What is their assumption? If it is psychoanalysis school of thought, what is their assumption? We have discussed it on the first day. Even when Sigmund
Sexual
Freud was
fulfillments of social needs.
sexual that is psychoanalysis, very common to all the theories. That is the existence of the unconscious mind. Kada? What is the common assumption of psychoanalysis school of thought? Existence of the unconscious mind. ඒගොල්ලෝනේ හොයාගත්තේ we have an unconscious mind And then experiences, especially childhood experiences, they get, if they are stuck in these fulfillment of needs, they actually become conflicts and they are stored in the unconscious mind කියලා තමයි ළඟ assumption එක. ඔයගලට මතකයිද ඒක? Please respond. එහෙම කිව්වා මතකද ඔයගලන්ට first day?
Yes, ma'am.
ඒක තමයි දැන් එරික් එරික්සන්, සිග්මන්ඩ් ෆ්‍රොයිඩ්, they both belong to psychoanalysis school of thought. එතකොට psychoanalysis school of thought එකේදී කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ basic assumption එක තමයි the existence of the unconscious mind, childhood experiences stored in the unconscious mind as conflicts. ඔය දෙක තමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ assumptions. එතකොට ඒක සිග්මන්ඩ් ෆ්‍රොයිඩ්ට තිබුණා. හැබැයි සිග්මන්ඩ් ෆ්‍රොයිඩ් එක focus කරේ bodily need fulfillment, sexual fulfillment, libido fulfillment. හැබැයි අපි එරික් එරික්සන් ගත්තොත් එරික් එරික්සන් talks about the fulfillment of social needs. Sigmund Freud, fulfillment of bodily needs, libidos, right? But Erik Erikson talks about fulfillment of social needs. If the social needs are fulfilled, there's a smooth transition from one stage to the next, the other. If the social needs are not fulfilled moderately, it becomes a conflict, and this conflict is stored in the unconscious mind, and we can see adult personality deviations. මේ මං කියන එක ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙනවද නැද්ද?
A little bit complex, madam.
Can I repeat again? The thing is that you have to know what we discussed on the first day, right? But I will explain it again. Now, on the first day, we talked about 4 major schools of thoughts. 4 major schools of thoughts. That is the first day we discussed. What are the 4 major schools of thoughts we discussed? Behaviorism, psychoanalysis school of thought, cognitive school of thought, humanistic school of thought. එතකොට අපි කතා කරපු Piaget belongs to the cognitive school of thought. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ assumption එක තමයි our behavior, our development, everything is due because of they actually have the assumption that internal mental processes like sensation, perception, memory, remembering, they actually matter. That is their focus in psychology. Based on that only they actually did all their work. එතකොට අපි ඊළඟට ගත්තොත් psychoanalysis school of thought. Now Sigmund Freud, Erik Erikson, we are talking about his theory today. They are from psychoanalysis school of thought. එතකොට psychoanalysis school of thought එකේ assumption එක තමයි they actually develop all the theories and their work was done based on the assumption there is the unconscious mind, so existence of the unconscious mind, and when we don't get needs gratified or fulfilled, they become conflicts and they are stored in the unconscious mind කියන එක. එතකොට Sigmund Freud කතා කරන්නේ bodily need gratification. Erik Erikson කතා කරන්නේ social need fulfillment. එතකොට මේ social needs fulfill වුණේ නැත්නම්, if they are not fulfilled, they become a conflict and they are stored in the unconscious mind, and our adult personality is influenced by unconscious mind as well. එතකොට what are these social needs? They are discussed in 8 stages. And if these social needs are not fulfilled, these are the adult personality deviations. ඒක තමයි මේ එරික් එරික්සන් theory එකෙන් අපි කතා කරන්න යන්නේ. Is it clear now? It's
Yes,
not.
madam.
The one who said that it's a bit complex, is it clear now? නැත්තම් කියන්න. හැබැයි මම suggestion එකක් කරනවා. Now we have done about 1 or 2 or 3 sessions. You have to listen to the recordings and refer to the materials and study them. Otherwise, that what we discussed today, you will not understand. Now, the one who said it's complex, is
Madam,
it clearly?
we still didn't get the recording.
Even the very first one?
Yeah, madam.
Normally, you have access to LMS.
We asked madam, but they didn't
And they
share
will
it.
fix it. You can keep on asking, right? They will actually fix it. I will also
Okay.
tell them that the students need to listen to the recordings. Kela. Okay. So
Okay,
now,
madam. Thank you,
now
madam.
yeah, okay. So Erik Erikson, yeah, psychoanalysis කෙනෙක්. එතකොට here their assumption is the existence of the unconscious mind and the conflicts stored in the unconscious mind, how they affect their adult personality. So Erik Erikson talks about the fulfillment of social needs. So we actually have social needs to fulfill. And these social needs are not moderately fulfilled. They become conflicts and they will be stored in the unconscious mind. Okay, they become conflicts and they are stored in the unconscious mind. So අපි බලමු මොනවද මේ stages utter, because Erik Erikson says that this social needs or the development of psychosocial aspect happens in 8 stages. Sigmund Freud's psychosexual development, how many stages? How many stages? ඒක මතක නැති වෙන්න බෑනේ last time අපි කරානේ. Sigmund Freud, 5 stages, right? කොට Erik Erikson කතා කරන්නේ social needs fulfillment in 8 stages. Okay? දෙන්නම කතා කරනවා existence of the unconscious mind and the need fulfillment and conflicts and adult personality deviations. හැබැයි Sigmund Freud කතා කරන්නේ fulfillment of sexual needs, psychosexual needs. හැබැයි Erik Erikson කතා කරන්නේ fulfillment of psychosocial needs. Sigmund Freud, according to Sigmund Freud, there are 5 psychosexual need stages, development stages. Erik Erikson, there are 8 psychosocial development stages. අපි දැන් බලමු what are those 8 stages and how it can affect the adult personality කියලා. හරි? Now you can see the 8 stages. You can see there are 2 words all the time. All the 8 stages are titled or named using 2 stages. So the first refers to the psychosocial need. First, it's the psychosocial need. And then if the psychosocial need is not fulfilled, the adult personality deviation or the crisis. Adult personality deviation or the crisis. So you can see in the first stage, it's the social need is for trust. sense of trust, feeling of trust. That is the social need to be fulfilled in the child. And if that child doesn't feel that the child is in a trusting relationship, that the child is in a trusting relationship as an adult, right? As an adult, due to this trust, that social need is not fulfilled. So because of that, it's a conflict and it is stored in the unconscious mind. And as an adult, what will be the crisis or the adult personality deviation? As an adult, he will be or she will be full of mistrust. Full of mistrust. So what is this age of first stage? It is not given here. You can make it. No, take down notes. It is from birth up to 1 year. It is from birth up to 1 year. From birth up to 1 year, the child has the social need to be fulfilled. That is the trust, sense of trust. If this sense of trust, that social need with the caregiver, it may be parents and all that, immediate caregivers, that sense of trust is not fulfilled. As an adult, the child will be an adult who has a lot of mistrust in him. So what's the relationship that the child maintains during the first stage, that is from birth up to 1 year? Immediate caregivers. Immediate caregivers. So if needs are dependably met, infants develop a sense of basic trust. Basic need is what? Feeding. So here also, in Erik Erikson also, the important life event is feeding. So when the child is hungry, the child is fed without any delay. There is consistency in attending to the child. If the child cries, somebody is there to look after it, take care of it. And there is consistency in the caregiving. Then the child's need, social need for trust is fulfilled. But if it is not so, the child is hungry, the child is crying, the child is in discomfort, the child goes on crying, but it's not regular, consistently attended to, the child does not get the social need for trust fulfilled during the first year. And it becomes a conflict. It will be stored in the unconscious mind. And then the child as an adult will be kind of a personality who is full of mistrust. So if you're full of mistrust as an adult, are you happy or you are not a happy person? I'm asking. Are you a happy person or you're not a happy person? You don't trust people easily. Full of mistrust. Somebody who is full of mistrust is happy or unhappy?
Happy, madam.
Unhappy.
Unhappy, ne? Unhappy. ඒක නිසා පොඩි කාලේ ලබන අත්දැකීම කියලා තමයි එරික් එරික්සන් කියන්නේ. When the important life event to fulfill this social need of trust in the first year is feeding. ළමයාට වෙලාවට බඩගිනි වෙනකොට feed කරනවා නම් එතකොට consistent caregiving තියෙනවා. That social need is fulfilled because the child is only birth up to 1 year. That is the age. So no big deals මේ කාලේ. එතකොට ඒක තමයි වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. I will talk about a study done to actually experiment on trust versus mistrust by sociologists, right? And they have studied 2 tribal communities. One is African tribal community. The other tribal community is an Australian tribal community. African tribal community and Australian tribal community. මොකද්ද වුනේ? The sociologists saw the adult community in the African tribal community, they are full of mistrust, right? They don't have any healthy relationship with each other, they don't trust each other and all that. And this sociologist saw the Australian tribal community. The adult community is full of trust and they make friends and they are happy and they are connected. So they wanted to apply Erik Erikson's psychosocial development theory. So they wanted to actually study the caregiving type during the first year of the child in those two tribal communities. And then they notice in the African tribal community, the mother is supposed to go work in the field with the dad. Okay? So they take the child in a cloth cradle, hang the child on a branch, and time to time the mother comes and feed the child, not when the child cries, right? The child can go on crying, but nobody's to attend it to. Nobody's to attend to the child. But when the mother feels like that the child is hungry, mother comes and feed the child. That is the African tribal community, the first year, that is their lifestyle. And then the Australian tribal community, the mother is not supposed to work in the field. Mother is at home to take care of the child. So as mother is not busy, as mother is at home, the consistent caregiving and feeding happens. So they actually then found out that can be a contributing factor, that the African community as adults full of mistrust, the Australian tribal community as adults, they are very connected and happy and they trust people easily. So this is birth up to 1 year. Trust versus mistrust. Are you okay?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Okay. Now we go to the second stage of social development by Erik Erikson. The second stage, what is the social need? What is the conflict? What is the social need during the second stage?
Autonomy, process, shame,
Autonomy.
doubt.
Autonomy, no. Autonomy is the social need. What is the adult personality deviation if it is not fulfilled?
Shame or doubt.
Shame and doubt. Shame and doubt. So second stage is from 1 to 3 years. 1 to 3 years. The social need that the child needs to get fulfilled is autonomy. And if this social need is not fulfilled from 1 to 3 years, it becomes a conflict. It will be stored in the unconscious mind. As an adult, that you can see is full of shame and doubt. Okay. So what is the relationship that the child actually maintains during this period in order to fulfill this social need? Child is from 1 to 3 years. Still, it is actually the parents and the extended family, maybe neighbors, still not neighbors, neither. Extended family and caregiving. Am I right? The social
Amen.
need fulfillment relationship society the child is exposed to is the extended family and caregivers. So what can be the most important life event for the fulfillment of autonomy? Actually, the child is only 1 to 3 years. Mm. Initially, background noise is not good. Please make sure that you're muted. So then autonomy, now the child can't be autonomic and independent, a sense of independence, right? So child is only from 1 year to 3 years. So initially, as Sigmund Freud also said, the most important life event is passing tools. Passing tools. Why? It's a bodily function. So nobody can force it on the child. The child only has uh, the child only does it. So the child actually enjoys that independence in passing tools. And at the same time, later on, when it is by 2 to 3 years, like selection of toys, selection of their own clothes, what to wear, and all that, and then feeding by him or herself, these little things will help the child to develop, to fulfill that social need of autonomy, right? That is a social need in the child. Most of our context, Sri Lanka, or it's our ignorance. We don't actually let the children to select their own clothes, try it out, brush their teeth, and select their toys, what they want to play with, and all that. We don't give that autonomy to the child. And even toilet training, we force things on the child because mothers are busy, they want to go out to work and then finish toilet um, thing before leaving the house. එතකොට මේකෙන් සෙල්ලම් කරන්න මේ කාන්දි ඉන්න and all that because it saves mom's time. Otherwise, it's a hassle because the child will actually play around, take time, and all that. Because of that, the mother doesn't allow it, right? As it's a hassle. But the child needs it. It actually gets the child to fulfill the social need during the second stage, that is from birth up to, no, sorry, 1 year to 3 years, that social need for autonomy. But if it is not fulfilled, it will be a conflict, it will be stored in the unconscious mind, and as an adult, you can see he or she will be full of shame and doubt. So toddlers learn to exercise will and do things for themselves, or they doubt their abilities otherwise as an adult. කවන්න ගියාමත් අම්මලා හිතනවා අයියෝ he will not eat, she will not eat, he will spoil the place and I really don't want it to happen, I will feed him කියලා. We don't allow them. But that is very, very important for the child's development. Because the child during 1 year to 3 years has a social need to fulfill, that is autonomy, independent. He wants to be independent. And if that is not fulfilled, the child as an adult will be full of shame and doubt. That is the second stage. Okay. Now moving to the third stage of psychosocial development. Initiative versus guilt. Initiative versus guilt. Initiative is the social need that the child needs to fulfill. Guilt is the personality deviation in adults if it is a conflict, not fulfilled moderately. So initiative, this happens from 3 years to 5 years. Initiative versus guilt, the third stage of psychosocial development is from 3 to 5 years. So the child needs to initiate tasks and carry out plans. Okay? But if it is not fulfilled, that social need is not fulfilled, the child as an adult might feel guilty of everything. I'm no good. I'm simpleton, like that. So the important social interaction during this time, from 3 to 5 years, for the development of this initiative, the social need, is the preschool, because child actually starts preschooling, and the child wants to actually initiate tasks and carry out tasks. If the child is not actually given this opportunity, then that social need for being initiative will not be fulfilled. So the preschooler needs to be initiative, and this has to be a place where this understanding is there and the child is allowed to take initiative and implement and carry out tasks. Play, I think most important life event is play. Most important life event is play. So when they play, they will do what they like doing. They will select the toys, they will select the equipment, they will do it the way they want, like that. So preschool activities should fulfill its social need. That 3 to 5 years, they have that social need for being initiative. Otherwise, it's in adult personality, they are full of guilt and doubt. Okay. We'll go to the fourth stage of psychosocial development. If you take the fourth stage of psychosocial development, that is from 5 to 11 years, 6 to 11 years. 6 to 11 years, that is the primary school child. What is the social need that the child needs to fulfill? During the fourth stage, from 6 to 11 years, the child is the primary school child. And what is the social need? It's there on the slide.
Industry.
Industrious. Yeah.
Industrial.
Industrious. The child wants to be industrious. Give me a second. The industrian, the child wants to be industrious. I'm sorry, I forgot to mute the mic. Okay, during the call. I'm sorry about it. The industrious means the child wants to actually be involved in tasks, play activities, fully involved in work. So the child's social environment is the primary school. Child has the social need to fulfill, that is to be industrious. So the primary school should allow children to engage in lots of tasks, extracurricular activities, classroom tasks. The children are involved in them. They are on the go කියලා අපි කියනවා, right? Children learn the pleasure of applying themselves to tasks. හැබැයි ඒ opportunity එක නැති වුණොත්, the child is cornered, the child is passive, the child is an isolated, the child doesn't take part in much activities and all that. That social need for being industrious will not be fulfilled. And the child as an adult will be full of inferiority. Inferiority. ඔගොල්ලෝ දන්නවනේ inferiority කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා? පාත් බවක් කියනවා එයාට. The adult feels inferior. There are people with lots of inferiority complex, right? ඒකවත් අර doubt එක guilt එකෙන් එන එකක්. එතකොට එරික් එරික්සන් second එකේදී doubt එක ගැන කතා කරනවා, third එකේදී guilt, fourth එකේදී inferiority ගැන කතා කරනවා. මේ ඔක්කොගෙම කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Inferiority. You don't trust yourself. You doubt yourself. You are stricken with inferiority. එහෙනම් අපි ගැනම අපිට විශ්වාසයක් නැතිකම තමයි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට එරික් එරික්සන් පැහැදිලි කරන්නේ as an adult. If these social needs in particular stages are not fulfilled. So trust during birth up to 1 year, the social interaction with the caregivers. Most important life event is feeding. Not fulfilled. It's a conflict. As an adult, is full of mistrust. Second stage from 1 to 3 years, social need is autonomy. The social environment is the extended family. And life event is toilet training and selection of toys, clothing, etc. And if it is not fulfilled moderately as an adult, somebody full of shame and doubt. Third stage, during 3 to 5, the preschool, the child has a social need to fulfill in being initiative, but the preschool doesn't allow this initiation and carrying out tasks independently. Then the adult personality, a personality of a guilt person. Fourth stage, from 6 to 11, primary school child, the social need is to be industrious, be engaged and active. And if the school does not provide opportunities, if this is not fulfilled, as an adult, he's full of inferiority. ඒවත් අර guilt and doubt කියන එකත් එක්ක connected. Then you go to the fifth stage, that is 11 to 18 years, the teenage. 11 to 18 years, the teenage. What is the social need of the teenage from 11 to 18 years? Identity. Identity is the social need. If that social need is not fulfilled, as an adult, the adult personality shows a lot of confusion. So what's the social environment of the child? Hello, yeah, I'm back. Now the child is in the school, and the child has lots of friends. He has connections with communities and associations and clubs during the teenage, okay, and school. So the social environment of the teenager is that, and the social need is the identity, sense of identity. And if it is not fulfilled, the adult is in lot of confusion. So teenagers work at refining a sense of self by testing roles and then integrating them to form a single identity. or they become confused about who they are. So they are still teenagers, right? They are still schooling, but they want to know who they are. They will always question it from themselves. Who am I? So if there's somebody who is good in sports and he know I'm a sportsman, it gives him pride. And then the child will not be in confusion. And I'm good in my studies, so I will become somebody like this. So the child has his own identity, right? I'm a social worker. So the others know that I'm actually a social worker. They know that I'm a good person. So that is my identity. So then the child will not be left in confusion as an adult. So they want to develop their own identity. I'm a cricketer, I'm a singer, I'm a good person, I'm a helpful person, I'm talented. Their own identity they develop. The school should facilitate the development of identity of the child. How can the school facilitate the development of the identity of the child? By allowing him to be in clubs, associations, engage in lots of tasks, and become an achiever, achievements, then recognition. All these are given to the child. It's not only that they are good in studies. Somebody who is a very helpful child, that is his identity. Okay, very trustworthy person. Others see you as a trustworthy person, that is his identity. They should know who we are. Because of that, counseling and guidance programs, very important at this age. That is why the schools need counselors, guidance programs, right? I'm a leader, right? Like that. I can actually be a leader. I'm a sportsman. The others know me as a cricketer. I'm good in singing. The others know me as a singer. Like that, they have to identify their own strengths. The schools should support this. Okay? If this is not done, they will develop a kind of a very poor personality as adults. They will actually live a life of confusion, role confusion. Who are we? Who am I? They don't know. Then comes to the sixth stage. That is from 18 to 25. Sorry, 18 to 40. 18 to 40 years. Sixth stage. The name of the stage is intimacy versus isolation. So the social need for intimacy, intimate relationships with friends, with lovers, with husband and wife, with among parents and children, intimate relationships, very close relationships. That is the social need during 18 to 40. They want to maintain very intimate relationships, very close relationships, right? Between parents and children, between husband and wife, between friends, among friends, like that intimate relationships. And that's the social need. But if this social need is not fulfilled, then as adults, they live a life of isolation. They are full of lonely feelings. They're very unhappy and sad. That is it. So young adults struggle to form close relationships and to gain the capacity for intimate love. They feel socially isolated otherwise. Now, according to some articles I have read, now somebody who actually could not get married and they grow old, but when they get married, they are about 45, 50, sometimes it happens. And they actually do not have the capacity to be very intimate. It's another relationship kind of, for marriage of convenience for them. Somebody to cook, somebody to wash my clothes. That kind of relationship only that they're capable of, because that need between 18 to 40 is not fulfilled. So because of that, they are kind of now live a life of isolation. Because of that, in old age, if they actually happen to marry, and it's impossible for them to maintain very intimate relationships. Okay, so they are not happy actually. Then the seventh stage, that is from 40 to 65 or 70. 40 to 65 or 70, middle aged. The social need is for generativity. Generativity. If it is not fulfilled, they feel stagnated. Stagnation. එකතැන පල් වෙනවා. The middle-aged discover a sense of contributing to the world, usually through family and work, or they may feel lack of purpose. Now, generativity is the social need. I have a family to look after. I have children to take care of. I now experienced in life, because workplace, I'm the senior person. If you're a teacher, I'm a senior teacher. So the young teachers come and take advice from me. Society looks at you as a matured person. So they actually respect you. They make you a responsible person for the church or the temple. So you're contributing to the world. If that feeling is not fulfilled, you feel you're stagnated. එකතැන පල් වෙනවා. That is a very sad feeling. Okay, lack purpose. දැන් අර බැඳපු කෙනෙක්ට ළමයි ඉන්නවා, ඒගොල්ලන්ව බන්දලා දෙනවා, ඒගොල්ලන් හොඳින් ඉන්නවා දැකලා සතුටු වෙනවා. Some workplace එක you're the senior person, so they come to you for advice. You're grooming the young juniors. And the sense of generativity is fulfilled. ගමේ ඔයා තමයි සභාපති church එකේ. අන්න ඒ වගේ. එහෙම අවස්ථා නැති කෙනා stagnated. තන පල් වෙනවා කියලා හැඟීමක් තියෙනවා. Sad person. And then the last stage, it's 70 or 65 plus. Integrity versus despair. Integrity is the social need to fulfill. If that integrity means you're thinking back, you're reflecting on your life. You're an old person now, and you feel, I have done my part. I have a family, they are doing very well. I retired as a senior person, and I actually contributed to the development of this place. I worked as a teacher, and they still respect me for the work that I've done. So you're reflecting back, you're thinking back, and you're obviously satisfied. That is integrity. But if the previous stages are a conflict, you don't have any satisfaction. You're a failure. No family, no children. Workplace also, they did not actually give you promotions and all that. You were not doing good. Nobody actually recognizes or praise you for what you have done. You feel you have not done much. You did not have opportunity to do that. So you are living a life of despair. Okay? This is Erik Erikson's. But for you, the most important is the first 5 stages. So as teachers, you can see how you can get them to be initiative, industrious, and develop their own identity in school and preschool. If these opportunities are not provided by the school and the teacher, and that as an adult, the child is full of guilt, inferiority, and confusion, unhappy. So that is what Erik Erikson has said. Did you understand or you did not? Did you understand? Are you not listening? Am I talking to an empty class? Hello?
Understood, madam.
Right.
Hello.
Only one or
Hi.
two. Yeah,
Understood.
yeah. Are you listening? Anything,
Madam.
any experience, any idea that you want to share with us about this? Any experience or any idea? Now in old age, after 60, 70, there's a high suicide rate across the globe, right? Why? The previous stages are not fulfilled. They live a life of despair. They feel like that I have not lived my life. A lot of guilt, inferiority, confusion, and isolation and stagnation. So it leads to a life of despair. Okay. So anything, any idea, any opinion, any experience of somebody else's, you have to actually relate this to. No? එහෙම එකක් නැද්ද? Hello. Hello. අයියෝ මටත් කම්මැලි ඕගොල්ලෝ එතකොට අප්පා. මට කියන්න ඕගොල්ලෝ ඔහොම ඉන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙන්නේ නැතුවද මොකද කියලා. Now there are 23. Apira, are you there?
Yes, madam.
Then why don't you respond? Dania, Gajaseval, somebody from
Yes,
Gaul,
madam.
Hansamali. Then please respond, okay? Right. Then we are done with Erik Erikson. Hope that you understood it. Now we come to the next theory. Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory. This is also a lifespan development theory. Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory. Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory. According to Bronfenbrenner, we are talking about child development. No. The child's development is facilitated by the systems in the child's environment. You know, in psychology, environment is everything not within us. Environment is not trees and animals and rivers and water, right? Instead, everything not within us is our environment. So according to Bronfenbrenner, The child's development is facilitated by the child's environment. Child's development is facilitated by child's environment. If you take the child's environment, okay, if you take the child's environment, that Bronfenbrenner puts into systems or levels. He identifies 5 levels of the child's environment or ecology. Everything not within the child. Okay. So the 5 levels are, systems are, you can see it here. Microsystem, mesosystem, exosystem, macrosystem, and there is one missing. It's a new addition, chronosystem. Chrono, CHRONO, chronosystem. Chrono කියන්නේ time related කියන එකයි. Chronosystem. So what are the 5 systems of the child's environment that affects child's development? Can you read it from the slide? Can you read it from the slide?
Microsystem, mesosystem, exosystem, macrosystem, and final one is a chronosystem.
Very good, thank you. So we will discuss what they are and how it affects the child's development. Okay. First, the microsystem. Microsystem is the most, no, sorry. Microsystem is the closest environment to the child. The child's immediate environment is the child's microsystem. Now, what is the child's immediate environment or the microsystem? Family. Am I right? School, church, neighbor, neighbors. Neighbors are a bit distant. Child, the closest immediate environment is the microsystem, and the units, UNITs of this microsystem are family, church, and the school. Right? They are the immediate, very close units in the microsystem. Right? So they affect the child's development. They affect the child's development. If the child has educated parents, kind parents, good parents, the child has siblings, brothers and sisters, the school that the child attends to, the teachers and the peers that the child meet, and the church. These are actually, they affect the child's development. They influence the child's development, as you all know. As the child actually associate the church, the child become morally good. As the child goes to school, the child become developed, right? The child develops. The home environment affects the child's development. So different aspects, maybe social, emotional, cognitive, spiritual, moral, language, ඔය ඔක්කොටම ළමයාගේ development එකට the immediate environment of the child is the microsystem. The units of the microsystem are home, family, school, teacher, church, etc. Then the second system. or the second level is the mesosystem. Mesosystem. Now, mesosystem is the interaction between and among the units of the microsystem. Mesosystem is the interaction between and among the units of the microsystem. So what are the units in the microsystem? What are the units in the microsystem?
Altitude.
What are the, sorry?
Family,
Yeah, school
school,
and the church.
church.
Very good. එතකොට බලන්න මේගොල්ලන්ගේ the interaction between and among the units in the microsystem is the mesosystem. දැන් අපි ගමු ළමෙක් ඉන්නවා ඉස්කෝලේ. Mother comes to the school and criticizes the school. Right? The child's parents, they actually criticizes the church or the temple. And the child's parents, they come and they actually take part in school activities. They help the school. They come and talk to the teachers about the child's progress. And a healthy relationship between the units of the microsystem. දැන් ඉස්කෝලවල අපි එහෙම කරනවනේ නේද? Parents meetings, parents involvement in the school development. They actually are healthy. That is the mesosystem, right? But if the units of the microsystem are not actually interacting very much, it affects child's development. And that system is the mesosystem. If the interaction is good, it influences the child's development and the mesosystem is good. One example is the mother and the teacher, they hate each other. And it affects child's development. Mother is busy, mother never attends school meetings and all that. It affects child's development. Okay? And even peers and the child interaction. It is good, the child will actually be happy and develop in many aspects. But if the child is an isolate, no healthy connection with peers and all that, it actually affects the child's development. So the interaction between and among the units in the microsystem is the mesosystem of the child, and it affects the child's development. It influences the child's development. So you have to make it healthy, right? Then we go to the third level or the system. The third level or the system is the exosystem. Exosystem is the child has no direct contacts with the exosystem. Actually speaking, the neighborhood කියන එක එන්න ඕනේ microsystem එකට. Because neighbors are very immediate contact. Okay, it is in the microsystem. So අපි හිතමු interaction between units of the microsystem, neighbors and you, your family, the child's family. They are always fighting. It affects child's development. The child will be emotionally bad and then do not respect others, and the child doesn't know how to be friendly with others. The child has no friends to play after school and all that. No? So neighborhood is direct contact, so it has to come into the microsystem. Okay. So exosystem is the child has no direct contacts with these units in the exosystem, but it affects child's development. Child has no direct contacts with the units in the exosystem, but it affects child's development. What are the units in the exosystem? Education system of the country, politics of the country, media. They are the child's exosystem. Child has no direct contacts with them, but they affect child's development. Education system of the country. It's not proper education. It's not the best of education. It's obsolete education the child gets. It affects child's development. It's exam-oriented education in Sri Lanka. The child's development is affected because the child does not develop the 4Cs of the 21st century. So he finds it difficult to secure a good job. So no direct contacts with the units of the exosystem, but it influences the child's development. If the child is born into a country where the education is very good, they have an education system catering to the future needs, the child's development is influenced, though there is no direct contact. If you take mass media, now how our mass media behaves, always showing crime on TV, misleading advertisements, right? Fake social media. So because of that, it affects child's development. China does not give direct access to Facebook. Why? Because it affects child's development. Though there's no direct contact. Even the government policies and politics, we have the inflation. So because of that, the child lacks facilities. There is a dearth. So it affects child's development. Okay, that is the exercise. No direct contact with the child, but the child's development of the country, mass media, the political system of the country, etc. Distant from the child, no direct contacts at all with the child. That is the macro system. It's the culture and the society and the community the child is born into. Culture, community, society the child is born into. If the child is born into a bigger community, that is child's macro system, and it affects the child's development. If the child is born into royalty, right? And if the child is born into different cultures, like, vegetarian culture, if not, they practice some religion. So that culture influences child's development. Because in that culture, they have their own ideologies and attitudes. So you have heard of American culture. And we have Asian cultures. What are taboos? What are limitations? And accordingly, our development is influenced. Okay. And then I added another one, that is the chrono system. You have no say with chrono system. Chrono is time related. Now, the age that you are born into, the age you belong to, age like in a they are born into the era of technology. So it affects the child's development, influences the child's development, good or bad. Okay. Now we had Corona sometimes back. a few years ago. So during that time, that it is a chrono system because it is that that age, that era. Okay, it happens with the time. During that time, what happens? So this corona affected us and it influenced the development of the child. So with time, during in a particular time, that what happens, and they also affect child's development. That is Bronfenbrenner. So you know you're facilitating as teachers the child's development. So you are in the microsystem of the child, immediate direct contact with the child. And the units of the microsystem of the child, parents and all that. So you have a role to play. You have a role. You have that interaction between and among the units of the microsystem. You're one of them as the teachers is very important to facilitate the child's development. Are you okay? Is it understood? Why don't you respond?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, you have to respond, no? Otherwise, it's very rude. There are 19 of you, but you don't talk, Kian, neither. Okay. Now I will get you to look at the last theory, lifespan development. Moral stages. Kohlberg's theory of moral development. Lawrence Kohlberg is the name of the psychologist. So we have discussed cognitive development by Freud, psychosocial development by Erikson, ecological systems development by Bronfenbrenner, and the Kohlbergs talk about moral development of the child. If I ask you what is meant by moral development, then now I want you to talk. What is hari වෙන්න පුළුවන් වැරදි වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඒක කමක් නෑ නේද? What is meant by moral development? Can you just tell me as you understand? You don't have to be perfect or correct or whatever. Just responding. What is moral development? Now, you all are teachers, most of you all are teachers. You have to facilitate the moral development of the child. What is moral development?
Mind.
What is it? Explain.
Mind.
Mind. Okay. Others? What is moral development? Others?
Child behavior.
Okay. Actually, moral කියලා කියන්නේ your ability to distinguish between right and wrong. One's ability to distinguish between right and wrong. Sense of right and wrong. හැම කෙනාගේම moral development එක facilitate කරන්න ඕනේ. Through education. Not only cognitive development. Neither we have to facilitate the moral development as well. So moral development කියලා කියන්නේ their ability to differentiate or distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. පැහැදිලිද දැන්? So morals කියලා කියන්නේ the sense of right and wrong.
Thoughts.
Are you okay? Yeah. Then according to Lawrence Kohlberg, because as teachers you all are facilitating their moral development. You all are facilitating their moral development. So their ability to distinguish between right and wrong should be developed in them through education. So according to Kohlberg, the moral development happens in, according to Kohlberg, moral development happens in 3 levels and 6 stages. According to Kohlberg, one's moral development happens in 3 levels and 6 stages. Yes, Sumaya, you raised your hand. Sumaya, yes.
Sorry, madam.
Sumaya,
Missed.
it's a mistake. Okay. So moral development happens in 3 levels and 6 stages. So what are the 3 levels as you see it on this slide? What are the 3 levels? Pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. What are the 3 levels? Pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. Those are the 3 levels. Pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. Each level has 2 stages. If you take the pre-conventional, the first stage up to the age of 9, there are 2 stages, punishment and obedience, instrumental and relativist කියලා. If you take the second level, conventional level, most adolescents and adults are there. There are 2 stages, interpersonal concordance and law and order. The last level is the post-conventional. Conventional, traditional නෑ, post. ඒ කාලේ පව් කරලා යනවා. Typical, traditional විදිය පව් කරලා යනවා. ඒ යන්නේ only 15% of population over 20 years. Over 20 years, 15% විතරයි යන්නේ. අනිත් අය ඒ කැලට යන්නේ නෑ moral development එකේ. Most of them are stuck in the second level. They don't go beyond second level. But most of the 15% of people will go beyond the second level to the third level, but only 15% will go. Others are stuck in the second level, that is conventional. Is it clear?
Yes, madam.
Stages ගැන. One by one, right? Now, this is Kohlberg's theory, okay? I will take the first level, pre-conventional, age up to 9. Okay. First stage is punishment and obedience. So the sense of right and wrong, they get it. If they are punished, it's something bad. If they are not punished, it's okay to do it something right. That is how the child in the first stage distinguish between what is right and wrong. The first stage is punishment and obedience. From the level 1, pre-conventional. So maybe the very young ones know that it's the first stage now. So the child, very young child, distinguish between right and wrong like this. If I'm punished for some behavior, for something done, that is something bad to do. If I'm not punished, they are good to do. That is how they distinguish between right and wrong and develop a sense of morality. Right and wrong defined by what they get punished for. If you get told off for stealing, then obviously stealing is wrong. ළමෙක් හොරකම් කරාම සද්ද නොකර හිටියොත් පොඩිනේ කමක් නැහැ කියලා ළමයා හිතනවා it's all right to steal. It's all right to steal කියලා. So punishments actually get them to distinguish between, decide on what is right and what is wrong. So punishments does not mean that you have to hit, you have to actually mentally traumatize. No, right? It's not that, but there should be punishment. Otherwise, they don't know what is right, what is wrong. If not punished, they will continue to do the bad things, thinking that they are all right to do that. Because punished, they think it's wrong to do care. That is the very first stage of moral development by Kohlberg. Are you Tej?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. We'll go to the second stage, still in the level 1, up to 9 years. Instrumental or relativist. Instrumental or relativist. The explanation says similar, but right and wrong is now determined by what we are rewarded for. Okay, and by doing what others want. Any concern for others is motivated by selfishness. Right. So second stage, first stage is the punishment. So they think what is punished is something bad. So they will not do that. The rest of it is okay to do, if not punished. But when it comes to the second stage, they are becoming a bit cunning and selfish. Yeah, they distinguish between right and wrong based on the rewards that you get. Based on the rewards. So if you're praised for something done, they think it's right to continue with that. And they will actually continue to do that if a reward or a praise or something is involved. And they want to actually, if you are praised, if you are rewarded, it means the other party, others are happy with what you're doing. So they want to actually do that and be rewarded. Then they decide, if I'm rewarded, it's something good to do. If I'm not rewarded, it may be something bad to do. That is their basic level, no pre-conventional level understanding about right and wrong. First one, if you are punished, it's something wrong to do, they don't do it. Second stage, if you are rewarded, it's good to continue. If you are not rewarded, it's not good to continue with that. Okay,
Yes, madam.
Okay, madam.
yeah, dear, right. Then we'll go to the second level. Second level is the conventional level. Most of the adolescents, teenagers and adults are stuck here. Okay. ඒකෙත් තියෙනවා stages දෙක. Interpersonal concordance and law and order. අපි third stage එකට යමු. Third stage එකේ interpersonal concordance කියලා කියන්නේ අපි ඒකට තව term එකක් කියනවා good boy good girl stage කියලා. Good boy good girl stage. Interpersonal concordance. They want to actually please others and be the good person in the eyes of others. Right? Be the good boy and the girl in the eyes of others. And if they can be in the good books of others, they think that is the good thing to do, Kela. Right? They want to win others. They want to be the good person in others' mind, eyes. So they will do something to please them and to win them. That is why good boy, good girl concept there. So what you are going to do is decided by the fact that you will be able to please somebody. Now, for example, if the child wants to make the teacher or parents happy, the child will study. So the child thinks doing studies on regular basis is good because then I can win the teacher, I can win the parents, I can make them happy. Okay, that is the third stage of moral development. We can see there are a lot of adults also stuck in this interpersonal concordance to win the people only that they do things. Okay. Can I get 1 minute break? Don't leave the class. I'll be back quickly. Okay, then I'm back. So then it is now, as they want to win others, if the others expect them to do something, they think it's right thing to do, Kera. Right? Now, if they want to win the teacher, they think, I want to study because teacher wants me to study. So it's right thing to do, Kera. That is how they decide on what is right and wrong. I will give you some example now. They are actually adolescents, teenagers, and adults. So if they are in the stage 3 of moral development, so they want to win their friends. So they actually now the friends tell them, we will smoke, we will try some alcohol. They will not say no to it. Why? They want to win the friends, be in good books of the friends, right? Be the good boy or the good girl in the eyes of the friend, because they are in the third stage of moral development. So even if it is a bad thing to smoke, that he will say, okay, we'll go ahead and hang out and smoke, Kela, because he wants to win his friends. That is the third stage of moral development. Okay. Still second level, but the fourth stage of moral development, stage 4, law and order. Law and order. So being good now means doing your duty by society. So we have accepted laws, customs, taboos, traditions in our society. It's not only the law itself, right? Even the customs, traditions, beliefs, taboos, and all that. So this is law and order. So you decide what is right and what is wrong based on that. You are in the fourth stage of moral development. Most of the adults are stuck there. They don't want to actually go beyond the conventions and taboos and limitations and all that. So you're born into a Buddhist family. Mother says you can't actually marry a non-Buddhist. So even if you fall in love with a Tamil girl or a Muslim girl, that you will not get married to her or him. Why? You're in the fourth stage. You're not into breaking the laws and orders and the customs and traditions. You're stuck in the fourth level of moral development. So we are actually, now even in school it happens, you have the rules and regulations. So you are trained to obey. So because of that, most of the young ones are stuck their law and order. It's better than being in interpersonal concordance to win people only, that you decide whether it's right or wrong. Accordingly, you decide. But this is a higher level, law and order. Law කිව්වම නීතියම නෙමෙයි, customs, traditions, practices. You're not going to actually violate them. You're going to stick to them. Sticking to that is right. Violating them is wrong for you in the eyes of you. Okay? That is conventional. According to literature, 85% of population is stuck there. Post-conventional is the third level. Only 15% above 20 moves to the post-conventional level of deciding what is wrong, what is right. What is wrong, what is right. The fifth stage is social contract. Social contract. Right and wrong is now determined by personal values. Although they can be overridden by democratically agreed laws. When laws infringe our own sense of justice, we can choose to ignore them, right? Now, for example, in our country, if you take the law, right? Same-sex marriages are illegal. But you decide, no, it is my right. I'm going to violate it. You are in social contract stage. You decide what is wrong, what is right. Violating the law and order, you have your own set of rules and beliefs and customs and traditions. You're bold enough to actually violate it. the law and order, and you have your own personal values, and you decide what is right and what is wrong based on that. Okay? That is social contract. Now you're born into a family of vegetarians. So you don't eat meat or fish. But when you grow up, you decide, no, I don't think that it's wrong to eat fish or meat. It's healthier if we eat meat and fish. It gives us all the nutrients. So I'm going to actually start eating them. So you are in social contract because you are deviating from the set pattern of the order of the house. Okay. You're in social contract. You have your own set of values. And your sense of right and wrong is decided by that. So you are falling in love with the Muslim girl being a Buddhist, but parents against it. But you decide, no, I'm going to actually get married to her. Your values. And you decide what is wrong, what is right based on that. Only 20%, only 15% of adults above 20 go there. Okay? The last stage is universal ethical principle. We now live in accordance with deeply held moral principles, which are seen as more important than the laws of the land. Laws of the land are rules and regulations imposed by legal. Imposed legally. You live your own life as you want, and that is what is right for you. Okay? That is what is right for you. So that level is hardly approached by most of us. But social contract, yes. But 85% of the population is stuck at level 2. They actually stuck in law and order. Okay? So this will help you to understand how the child's moral development happens, especially when the young ones are there. You will meet them up to ages of 18, 20, and you can see where they are. And if you are in the primary and all that, you can see that rewards will make them to think that this is the right thing to do. Punishments will help them to actually decide this is not something to do. And they are law abiding, rules abiding, and danger of interpersonal concordance sometimes. Because even if it is not right to win the people, they think that is the right thing to do. That is what. So likewise, that understanding comes to you, and accordingly that you can actually help the child out of it and be more moralistic. That is the purpose of this theory. So can you actually ask any questions about Lawrence Kohlberg's moral development theory? If you have doubts, please. Do you have doubts? No doubts? අනේ මන්ද ළමයි උගලන්ට උගන්නන්න මට බෑ. Very rude, no, when not responding. Are you there at least?
No, madam, no, madam.
No means
We
you're
can
there.
understand. Yeah,
That is it now. You have to actually respond. I'm also kind of bored. Okay. So then I'm trying to I'm trying to show you some questions. Okay. And I'm opening it now. We'll see whether you remember the answers for these. Right. From Unit 2. Unit 2 is lifespan development. Can you see the document I'm sharing? Can you see? Hello?
Yes, madam.
Yes, can, madam.
Right. Look at the first question. They are from Piaget's theory. You can try. Can one of you read the first question? Quickly, because we can finish it. We have only another 15
Piaget
minutes.
belongs to
What's the correct answer? Humanism, cognitivism, behaviorism, psychoanalysis, school of thought. Piaget belongs to.
behaviorism.
Huh? My goodness. Monkey with Piaget's theory of
Cognitivism.
cognitive development. How our internal mental processes work. Am I right? Comprehension, understanding. So it is cognitivism. Can you read the second one? It is the idea that, all from Piaget, right? It is the idea that objects exist even if they are out of sight. They are not to be seen, not to be heard, not to be touched, but they know that they exist. That is termed as what? පාඩම් කරලා නෑ. Elimination, reversibility, object permanence, conceptualization. During the first stage, blanket ball study, object permanence. Okay.
Object
Third one.
permanence.
Yeah. Which of the following statement is true according to Piaget children? Piaget අනුව මේ කොයි එකද හරි? Underlying principles වල කතා කරේ. Children must complete each stage but in any order. හරිද වැරදිද? Any order එකකට යන්න බෑනේ.
Wrong.
Age may vary, never the sequence කියලා කිව්වනේ. එහෙනම් can miss some stages but must meet the last one. Wrong. Must complete all stages by the time they are 5. Wrong. Must complete all the stages in the same order. Age may vary, but never the sequence. So the fourth one is the correct answer. I'm actually disappointed. Okay. A schema is a category of knowledge that allows us to interpret and understand the world. is suggesting what is already known to fit the new information is assimilation. When Rashmi was weave of the train was blocked, she did not search for it. Now that she's 9 months old, she just searched for it, reflecting her development of.
Object permanence.
Yeah, you're correct. Object permanence. Two containers hold the same amount, but Jane thinks that the taller skinnier glass holds more. According to Piaget, what is this termed as? Third stage එකේ තමයි මේක develop වෙන්නේ. Conservation. The beaker study. Okay. Yeah, the beaker study. According to Piaget, what is the belief that inanimate objects such as toys and teddy bears have human feelings and intentions termed as? During which stage does the child shed it? Inanimate objects have animate qualities. කියලා හිතන එකට මොකක්ද කියන්නේ අපි?
Animism.
Animism. During the second stage, the child sheds it. Thinking in the concrete operational stage is characterized by thinking in the concrete operational stage is characterized by
Reversibility, classification, and conservation.
reversibility, classification, conservation. Yeah, because it's the concrete operational stage. Stage 6, important implications of educational psychology. Explain the term lifespan development. Discuss two main factors that affect lifespan development: nature versus nurture, maturity versus learning. I will send this to you. You can study and write answers. State 4 stages of cognitive development in proper sequence as proposed by Piaget. Taggala කියන්න. Sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, formal operational.
Sensory motor stage, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational.
Very good. Explain the following terms referring to Piaget's theory of cognitive development. Object permanence. So with the materials that you have asked for the PowerPoint, I will send you with the materials these questions on lifespan development, not only Piaget, some questions from Sigmund Freud, Erik Erikson, and all that. And you all can write answers and keep it with you. Am I okay? Will you be doing that if I'm to send it?
Okay, madam.
Yeah. I will actually inform Mr. Rishad that you need access to the recordings and the materials. And I will actually send you all the materials through email also. I have to get Mr. Rishad to actually send it to you. And when you come next week, try to find answers to these questions in the question bank from the unit 2 and 1. Okay? Okay,
madam.
right.
Yeah, okay.
Be
madam.
active. Be active and do your part. Otherwise, නිකං ඔය online ඇවිල්ලා ඉඳලා වැඩක් නැහැ. දෙන්නයි තුන් දෙනයි respond කරන්න. It's very rude. And I'm not giving my maximum when you like this because it's impossible. If you're very active, I can actually give lots of examples, talk about classroom applications. When you don't respond, I just think of giving you knowledge, right? Not practical aspects, because you're not responding. Otherwise, we can lead discussions. Please try to be adult learners. So I hope you understand. You can get more from me. I'm covering the syllabus anyway, whether you talk experiences. That is what is important in a subject like this. So next time, be better prepared to be active and interactive. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, goodbye, madam.
Okay,
Good
thank you,
night. Good night.
Thank you.